Okay, let's take a look at your questions from page 467. So 7A says, so for both of them, you want to find the equilibrium force. So first, you need to find the resultant. Really, first, you need to draw them. So force 1 is 154 newtons east 23 degrees south. So 22 degrees south. So east 22 degrees south is going to be down here. Okay, so this is 154 newtons. This is 22 degrees. So this will be your F1x, and this will be your F1y. The second force is 203 newtons west 74 degrees north. West north, it's going to be up here. This is 74 degrees. I think it was 74. Yeah. 74 degrees, and F2 is 203 newtons. So this will be F2x, and this will be F2y. So first you need to find your components. So look at your F1, it's the adjacent side, so it's going to be cosine. And hopefully by now you can all go to F1x is equal to F1 cos theta. So F1x is equal to 154 newtons cos of 22. And so then punch that in and get your F1x, which I think should be 142.79 newtons. And that'll be east. So that's your F1x. Your F1y should be F1 sine theta. So it should be 154 newtons sine of 22. So F1y should equal 57.69 newtons, and that will be south, okay? So F1y, F1x. In exactly the same way, you're going to find your F2x. F2x is also the adjacent side, so it'll be F2 cos theta. So F2x will equal 203 newtons cos of 74. So F2x will equal 55.95 newtons, and that will be west. F2y is going to be sine. So F2y equal to F2 sine theta. So F2y will be 203 newtons sine of 74. And when you do that on your calculator, you should get 195.14 newtons, and that will be north. Okay, so now you do the sum of the forces in the x direction. One's west and one's east, so you're going to have to subtract them. And when you do, you get 86.83 newtons. Works out to be positive, so east. And in the y direction, one's north and one's south. So again, you're subtracting. And when you do, you get 137.45 newtons, and the bigger one is north. Okay, so once you have that, then you need to actually draw it. So you have one going east, one going north. So here's my one going east. It's 86.83. Sorry, I lost the 3 there. 86.83 newtons going east, and going north it's actually longer. It just doesn't look it, but it really is. 137.45 newtons. So somewhere I have a different color for my resultant. It will be right here. So you're going to find it. So your F net will be 162.58 newtons, and then finding this angle is going to be 57.72 degrees. So your F net is 162.58 newtons at an angle of east 57.72 degrees north. That's your F net, but the question wants your FEQ, the equilibrium force, which is equal to, so 162.58 newtons, but opposite the resultant. Opposite east is west, 57.72 stays. Opposite north is south. This is your final answer. Okay, so that's A. B. Oh, look, I just happen to have another thing drawn. 782 east 12 degrees north, so it's out here. So F1, 782, is that really what it is? Yeah. Newtons, east 12 degrees north, so from the east. So this will be your F1x, this will be your F1y. The second one is 629 west 24 degrees south. So west-south, it will be down here. This is 24 degrees. This is F2, 629. This will be your F2x. This will be your F2y. And once again, you need to find the components. F1x is going to be the adjacent side. So it's going to be 782 newtons, and it's going to be cosine of 12. And you will get an F1x of 764.91 newtons east. F1y is going to be sine, it's going to be opposite. So 782 newtons sine of 12. So F1y is going to be 162.59 newtons, and that will be north. So those are your two components for x and y for number 1. F2x, again, is going to be cosine. So it's 629 newtons cos of 24, and F2y is 629 newtons sine of 24. When you do this, F2x is going to be 574.62 newtons west. And F2y is going to be 255.84 newtons south. Again, you're going to add up the x's, add up the y's, so sum of the forces in the x direction. Again, you're subtracting them, and you get 190.29 newtons. Bigger one is east. Subtracting the y components, because they are also opposite. This time the bigger one is south, so 93.25 newtons south. Once you have these two, draw your triangle. So you're going east and going south. So east, 190.29 newtons. South, 93.25 newtons. Square them, add them together, take the square root, and get your F net and your angle. So when you square them, 211.91 newtons. And this is going to be east, 26.11 degrees south. So what's my FEQ? It would be 211.91 newtons west, 26.11 degrees north. Final answer. Okay, so hopefully these are pretty straightforward, not causing you too much issues. Letter C is exactly the same. The only difference is that I can't get it up on the screen. The only difference is that there's 3 of them this time. Okay, so one is 48 newtons west, 81 degrees north. So it's up here. So this is F1, and it was 48 newtons west, 81 degrees. We're going to run out of time, so we'll have to finish this one on the next video, F1y. Next one is 61 newtons east, 63 degrees, so it's over here. And this is 61 newtons, F2x. Whoops, not x, just F2. F2x is here. F2y is here. And this angle was